Hello and welcome back. So today we're going to look at the hardware part of our AI automation on premises agency program. And naturally, because the AI applications are very GPU intensive, we need to look at the hardware. Most of our current computers, especially in enterprise environment, we use regular PCs that are using applications and software that rely on CPU more than on GPU. But now, with the advent or with the coming of AI, the balance is switching over to more GPU power than CPU power. So today I have three setups that we will start to introduce. And these three setups are basically some of the most accessible way, financially and technically, to put into play immediately in almost any enterprise, even small and medium businesses. So I'll start with the first one that is down here. So down here, what I have is actually a gaming card, a classic gaming card, NVIDIA RTX 3060 series. It has 12 gigabytes of RAM. It's an old model, but it does a very good job for the price. So you can get this secondhand, or you can get the equivalent, which is now the 4060 GPU. Naturally, it will be more expensive, but then consumes less power, less heat, and has better performances. But this 360 is probably the most affordable entry point to have generative AI on premises. So we have a few of these cards. Actually, we have almost 20. We have 20 of these cards because the aim is to set up a AI training center so that a maximum of people can have a GPU. So this is also a setup using what we call an eGPU casing. So this casing right here connects the card through an external PCIe port, and then it converts it towards USB-C Thunderbolt. So it can connect to any laptop or any computer. If you have Thunderbolt 3 or Thunderbolt 4, you need these Thunderbolt latest generation because the GPU calculations, they require a lot of speed. This is a way that you can just come and plug and play a GPU into an existing mini PC or server or even a laptop that has Thunderbolt 3 or Thunderbolt 4. That's one option. So the setup usually an eGPU, just the casing eGPU can cost a few $100s, maybe $500 plus the card. The card you can get it secondhand for maybe if you are in the US or Europe, it's cheaper. Maybe you can get this for $200 or less. Here in Mauritius and in Africa, this is relatively more expensive, but then still it is an affordable, financially and technically, way of having a hardware to start AI on premises. Let's look at this second option here. So this second option is a mini ATX. So it's more of a small gaming PC. What you see here as a card, it looks very much different than these black cards that I have here and here, which are a gaming series. But this card here with a golden lining is the professional series of NVIDIA RTX. It's the A4000. We also have A5000. And later on, we will take these professional cards and put them into a rack or a GPU server and have 4 of them in one setup to actually train our own AI models locally. We need much more power. But for this setup, for normal use, not for training an AI, or maybe just adapting an AI, this is plenty of power. It has 16 gigabyte, the A4000. The main difference between the gaming cards and the professional cards is twofold. One is the heating management and the power efficiency. The professional cards are designed to run 24 hours a day intensively without creating too much heat and problems. That's number one. The second efficiency that the professional cards have is that they have error correcting systems. So it's ECC RAM. Here it's non-ECC RAM. So sometimes in the memory management, there can be some small error calculations that do not make too much troubles when you're a user of an AI. But when you're training an AI, you cannot afford to have small mistakes or small miscalculation from the RAM. So that's why you go for ECC RAM. Those are the 2 points: energy and heat efficiency to run 24 hours, and then ECC RAM error correcting protocols. Now, this is 12 gigabyte of GPU RAM. This is 16 gigabyte of GPU RAM. Both these options work perfectly for generative AI text, to generate text or deal with text. But also, you can do a pretty good job at generating nice images. So it takes probably about 10 seconds with the 12 gigabytes and it takes about less than 10 seconds to generate a nice image with stable diffusion with these two options. So you can do image generation, AI image generation, as well as text. Let's look at this bigger baby right here. So it's the same case as this one, a bit bigger with more fan and more cooling, because it's hosting the RTX 3090. It has 24 gigabytes of RAM. It can heat up pretty quickly, so you really need to have very good cooling. But with 24 gigabytes and a bit more CPU, a bit more RAM, you can start to do faster image generation. So maybe here it takes 15 seconds to generate an image. Here it takes 10 seconds. Here maybe you can do it for 5 seconds, meaning that you can generate 10 images per minute, which is quite good. Instead of buying your stock images from a paid online bank, you could create your own images. Now it starts to become interesting here. We are at the very threshold of starting to do AI video generation. It is still pretty slow. It takes like 1 minute or 2 minutes to generate few seconds of AI video, but we are entering the space of video generation with 24 gigabyte. Preferably, we should have 2 of these cards, 48 gigabyte, to start to do video AI generation. Okay, so this was a very quick presentation of the 3 types of units that we have today. And actually, I was explaining just in our first video that AI and automation on premises is a very powerful niche demand. And this setup here is actually going, the day after tomorrow, is going to a law firm. This is going to a legal firm who wants to have their lawyers and their paralegal teams use generative AI in-house. Why? Because you have proprietary documentation, you have customer documentation, you want to protect your data, you don't want to send data to be processed in the cloud. So we are bringing AI to the premises on site of a law firm, and we will start giving them access and experiments with generative AI. So this is really like going towards what we were presenting, that if you want to really leverage AI, you need to cover the 4 fields: training, advisory, hardware, and software. So also we equipped the computer with Artila. So Artila software can then automate the use of the AI so that we can send inputs to an AI, PDF documents, Word documents, text documents, or instructions. And then Artila will query the local AI, take the output, and then feed it into an ERP, a CRM, send an email, prepare a document, send it for digital signature, and so on. All this can be done with this little setup. Our business model here, at least in Mauritius, because it's not that easy to get access to powerful GPU cards, we're actually providing this on a rental basis. This is not so much to make money from the rental, but this is to keep the momentum with the client. So you have this company, they say, I want to experiment with AI, and then you tell them, okay, go and buy the hardware. So when you say that, you create a 1 month or 2 months of sourcing delays, because they would need to order the hardware, receive it, set it up. Rather here, we have a couple of machines, and like I said, we have 20 cards like this, we have a couple of these cards, and we have a couple of these ones readily available for our clients. As soon as we see a need, we put up a machine and we bring it to them on a rental basis. This really keeps the momentum up and simplifies deploying these kind of services. So maybe what we can do in the next video, if you guys are interested to know more, I can cover how I set this up, the eGPU, where I bought the pieces from on AliExpress or Amazon, how I set it up, and how I can come up with this eGPU setup. We can also do some more videos on how to combine the hardware, how much RAM you need, what kind of processor you need, and then all the rules in terms of PCIe, ports, and the speed, and how much these cards they take and consume. There is also another video that I invite you to follow up that we will link in the description, and also we will put a little link here. I spent a lot of time to study each type of cards that are available in the market, either as second-hand but also new cards. And I was looking at what is the best power I can get for the money that I want to invest. So I have this Google sheet where I classified all the cards with their computational power, the cost, and also importantly, the cost per RAM, per GPU RAM, or the cost per T-flops or CUDA or any other computational service. So I will link also to the Google Sheet for you to make your own study and add your own cards. That will be enough for today as a first session on the hardware that are needed to start to bring AI and automation on premises for our communities and our clients. Thank you for your attention, and I'll see you on the next videos.